that energy to the max. Okay, you backbone? All right, let me see.
Right, you talking that talk.
You know what I mean? You talking that talk.
Talking that talk.
Right. You know what I mean? By the time we got to like advanced phase, Carney popped off missiles.
Yeah.
So it was a game changer by that point. It's like, okay, no, there's a real chance we might see some stuff. Instead of why me, why not me? It's my turn to run. It's my turn to run.
Right.
Whatever that means, that's what it means. And the thing about it is, again, pick a demographic. It don't matter to me. You want to work, you want to grind, let's go.
Welcome to another episode of the Addies Podcast, where we show love to those that served and those that are continue to serve. Our special guest today, Captain Select Desmond Walker.
Yes, sir. Good one.
Man,
what's up?
It's an honor. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely appreciate it. Hollandale, Mississippi. Joined the Navy in 1996. Got picked up for State 21 program as an ET2. The CEO of the USS STOUT, DDG 55, Flight 1. He made sure I put that out there. Flight 1, it must be something big. All right, and he's currently about to serve on the as the reactor officer on the JFK. So big up to you, man. Thanks for coming through and showing us love, man. We definitely appreciate you for doing that.
Absolutely, glad to be here. Glad to be here. Thanks for the invitation, fellas.
Yeah, no problem. AP, what's going on?
Not much, man. I'm good. How you?
Life is good.
That's
Life is good. New challenges, but you know we face them and we deal with them.
Yeah.
And move forward. So, yeah. So, sir, again. It's an honor. I really want to hear this story from like Hollandale, Mississippi. You come in as a young seaman.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Now you about to be a captain.
I know, right?
It's
wild. Navy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I would tell you.
I know it wasn't even set up like that, but
nope.
Yeah, walk us through that.
Yeah, so I mean, you know,
coming to Hollandale, Mississippi.
Yeah, man. For one, like where the hell is it?
Hollandale.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Washington County all day, baby.
Okay,
you come down Highway 61 on the northwest side of the state, about 3 hours south of Memphis. Mm-hmm. When you drive through it, if you blink, you might miss it, but that's okay.
Right.
But a lot of good folks from our town. What ended up happening for me was I first found out about a school called Mississippi School for Mathematics and Science, and I used to go to summer enrichment programs there. And it was a high school for juniors and seniors. Okay. All advanced placement classes, you know, college prep kind of stuff. I ended up applying and getting into that, and so I ended up actually graduating from MSMS. Mm-hmm. But what's crazy is, I was lined up to go to Mississippi State. I was going to major in architectural drafting, and then a recruiter came to the school, and the teacher was like, "Hey, we got class, or you can go take this test called the ASVAB." I went to the ASVAB. I didn't want to go to class. Right. And so went to the ASVAB, scored really well on that. Then they offered me a nuclear test. I took
now, what you score on the ASVAB? They talking about they offering you a nuclear test now.
I got a 96.
All right. I mean, he said math and science.
I was ready.
You was ready.
I was ready.
Now we understand the nuke program.
But I turned down and it's the nuke though. I was conventional nuke. Yeah, man. Oh, wow. I didn't want to go nuke. I don't know why they offered me a bunch of money and all this promotion and stuff, but back then I was just locked in. It was something, they called it advanced electronic computer field. That's how they said it. You didn't say you want to be ET. It was a bin of rates. So you go advanced electronics computer field, and at the time it was electronics technician, fire controlman, or data process. It was a DP, but I forgot what the DP stand for.
Yeah, I think
data processing.
Yeah. And so those were the three rates I got offered when I went to MEPS. But I just, like I said, I took the test, and that was in February. And my mindset at the time was go to college and stay in Mississippi 4 more years, or go see the world. Mm-hmm. And I picked go see the world. And so graduated in May. Took the test February, depped in March, graduated in May, and was in boot camp July 9th, 96.
So
Yeah, I told my mama after I depped in.
What?
Oh yeah, I was 18. My birthday is in March.
You want to be grown.
Do what you want to do. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Why did you tell her? You didn't think she was gonna want you to go?
It wasn't even like that. Because I was just doing my thing. Because my mom raised me that way.
Mm-hmm.
In my bedroom when I was a kid growing up, over the top was Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, when he's old, not depart from it. And at my heart, I'm this old country boy from Mississippi.
Right.
And so every summer, it wasn't nothing for me to go work in the cotton fields, chopping cotton. And so for me, I was just going from doing one job to just going and find another job. That's what it was. It was that linear for me. It was just a job.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, hey, mom, I got a job with the Navy. Right. And so, because back then too, you didn't talk about college the way you talked about college now. And keep in mind, my mom was a teacher and my dad was a teacher. I grew up, understanding. I was blessed to have an educator in the home.
Yeah, I got you.
Right. And so
two.
Well, that's another. It wasn't, but that's another story.
Okay.
But the pedigree's there. I'll say that. And so I was always, confident in what I could put my mind to. Okay. And for me, joining the Navy just sounded like it was a challenge. To accelerate your life stuff. Right. And that's what I wanted to do. And to me, staying in Mississippi, while I enjoyed opportunity with MSMS and how it set me up academically, I was still burnt out. Because it was a lot of guys. You live on campus. It's like I say, advanced placement calculus, advanced placement history. Years of advanced placement history.
Yeah, I
as a teenager, you was doing that.
I never heard of advanced history.
And so,
wow.
And so that kind of a grind, while I was successful in it, academically just wasn't. It wasn't meeting my needs, and so the Navy was something I could go do. Right. And so did it. And like I said, I was in ETA school, knocked it out, got to the Ike in March 98.
Okay. Let me backtrack a little bit. So boot camp.
Yeah.
96.
Yeah. 356, baby. 96356. What up? Still in contact with some of the folks now.
Hey, some of the numbers we forget. Hey, 028. Just never forget. Yeah.
416.
Yeah, you just never forget. That's a number that you never forget.
I'll never forget it. 96356.
Wow.
For life.
Okay.
He said for life.
For life. For life. I got it. Coming from Mississippi.
Yeah.
Where you go? Great Lakes, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. First time you there, first 48 hours. What was that like for you?
Dude. So I at this point, I remember the Smurf suit.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the haircut.
Yeah.
And I remember service week. Mm-hmm. Everything else, and the DC Olympics. Everything else is a blur.
It's a blur.
Yeah.
That's what I take away from it. But here's the ironic story. I was in 356, and my sister, because this is when they were starting to bring women in too. My sister division was 355, but there was another brother sister division. I forgot I don't know what number they were. But ironically, my wife was in the other sister section that I didn't know at the time. And I ended up meeting her in A school. So I married my A school sweetheart.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Been in Navy 28 years. Been in the Navy 29 years. Been married 28 years. My oldest daughter's 27.
Oh, wow.
Like I said, man, I went to the Navy and started doing.
Yeah. You went a different direction. A totally different direction. That's good.
Yeah, man.
Anniversary 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
How many did your wife? How many years did she do?
She ended up doing her time and getting out because it was crazy. This mill-to-mill stuff was challenging back then too. I deployed in 98. She deployed in 99. I deployed in 2000. Keep in mind, my daughter was born in 98, and so by the time she came back from her deployment, we was like, this ain't gonna work. And so
you was on Ike, and what she was on?
She was she ended up going to Leyte Gulf.
Okay.
And picked up she didn't finish the A school, So because with the pregnancy and everything, and so when Leyte Gulf struck IT out of deck, made IT2, but then decided to get out.
Yeah.
So she had a high ASVAB score too.
Yeah.
So
I would imagine. And then fool around and end up in debt.
Right.
And
she definitely knew, like, because you don't never hear no stories like that.
I was in debt. I caught what he said. She got pregnant. That's why she left A school. It's his fault.
Yeah, you really pay attention to it.
Yeah. He did that.
Yeah, it's all my fault. Just blame me.
Take the blame. It's all good. Wow, that's deep. That's good. That's
man.
Good stuff. So
it's still going strong.
Boot camp, you made that's good as well.
Yeah.
Boot camp, you made it through. Into your first command. What did that look like?
Showed up as ETSN, put on third class shortly thereafter, and deployed soon after getting there as well, which was fine. And that it was I hit the dead plate running, man. That same work ethic I had in chopping cotton translated to the Navy.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just getting after it. I'm trying to be the best sailor I can be. And I had a good LPO, good works in the soup, that was just feeding me, And so the 98 deployment, just learned how to be a good tech, learn how to do my job. I hated birthing cleaners, but it's all good. Finished that deployment. Then we had a short, maintenance period, and then deployed again in 2000.
Right back at it.
What was beautiful about the 2000 deployment, that's the one that really hits me. Actually, they had a reunion this past summer. I didn't get to go to it, 25th anniversary from that deployment. A lot of good people on that cruise, which I know y'all exactly where I'm at with that one.
Yeah.
The camaraderie that you build, and on that deployment is when I knocked out my ESWAS and my EAWS.
Okay.
And so by the time we came back home, I was ET2 SWAW.
There you go.
Assistant LPO, and helping trying to make the division and the ship better. Going into, and that's when we went into RCOH after that.
Okay.
That for the long availability for replacing the cores, reactor cores.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure for you, coming from your background and what you was accustomed to doing and what you're doing in the Navy, those first couple of years, work was just like easy for you.
Oh, dude, it was, man.
Right.
Man, my maintenance was done by Wednesday, bro. My maintenance was done by Wednesday.
You weren't playing with them.
I wasn't playing. Don't let's be underway. By Thursday, maintenance is done, cleaners is done, works in suit, what you need, LPO, what you need. I'll be up in Radar Room 6 in my video game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you get that motivation from like your mom? Like, did she instill it, or was it something like someone that you grew up?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. I was always like that. All A's in school, and I didn't really get in any trouble. Wasn't looking for trouble either.
Right.
And my mom, being a single parent home, the younger sister, kind of that man of the house kind of thing, kind of being placed on you, even if you 10, 11 to a 13, you really know that, but that's kind of the vibe that you get. And so I always had this sense of responsibility of doing whatever I can on my own. Like I said, going back to the working in the summers in the cotton field, the reason it was important for me was because I saw my mom talking about child support. And so the money I saved up working in the summer, I was buying my own school clothes.
Okay.
I bought my own Super Nintendo, right? Because I was working and making my own money. So this at 14 years old, working. Right? And so Navy gonna pay me. I got full medical, full dental, full vision.
And you feeding me?
And you feed 3 hots in the cot.
Yeah.
And if I just do my job, I get all this stuff, man, say less.
Yeah.
Dude. I was running fast, running hard.
There you go.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, man. That's why I've carried that all the way forward. And even now, when I talk to junior sailors, I appreciate the enlisted background because I get to tell those stories as well, and I have a little more credibility because they know I'm not asking them to do something that I didn't do or would not do.
Right.
And so, yeah.
So that enlisted journey for you, it didn't last too long. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you weren't there too long. So what made you want to go officer? Did somebody advise you to do that? Something that you just saw? And like What speared that?
Yeah. So what's crazy is, again, going back to high school, I put in for ROTC scholarship, but didn't take it. It's just when I ended up enlisting instead because I was talking to the program. I was talking to somebody, I don't know who it was, but I was like, if I do ROTC, do I have to go to college first? Yes. I was like, well, I don't want to go to college first. Well, you can join the Navy and become an officer later. I was like, for real? Okay,
okay.
Let me do that. Let me ship you. I'm gonna put you on the ship and get you a shipping date right now.
Yeah.
And so, but now by 2000, by the year 2000, 2001, my LPO, Patrick Jones, I'll never forget him. You know, he was like, hey, Walk. They just changed his program from Cmdr 21. You should take a look at it.
I remember that.
And this is made with phasing out boost and all of that. They were phasing everything out, consolidating it to stay 21.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about it. Then my wife also was like, hey, sweetie, you know, you got good evals, you got your pens, you like taking care of people. You should try to be an officer. And I was like, well, I guess. But in my mind, I was using my short duty and roll. How many times have we heard that?
Right.
So what you say? I'm gonna just let me get these short duty orders, right?
I'm out of here.
I'm gonna get the short duty orders and plan my step. Then 10 years later, they now chief.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. My story too. I'm sticking with it.
Yeah.
We all got that story. And so, when I thought about the opportunity, was crazy. I had orders of fax vacapes. And after those orders popped, I was like, well, let me put in for this. Let me see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And put in an application, had great recommendations, and was ranked top on the ship. Actually, I was ranked number 2 out of, I think it was like 4 or 5 people applied. I was ranked number 2 from the command, and I got selected.
Wow.
First time up.
Wow.
And for what's called a core program on the State 21, which means you pick your designator in your senior year at college, as opposed to getting a straight quota from when you first get selected. Okay. And when that happened, I just stayed on the ship another year till it was time for me to class up at Naval Science Institute up at Newport. And so September 2002, I was off the ship.
Wow.
Started my officer career.
So you went to Norfolk State.
Yep. Yeah, man. Behold the green and gold.
Yeah.
2005.
What was that like? Okay, I'm gonna go to Norfolk State. Are there any? I'm sure you had a couple choices.
So it was interesting, man. The GI first it was like State 21 comes with a scholarship, like $10,000 a year. So you're looking at that. You're looking at how much college costs, right? By this point, like say wife, kid, I got a house now by this point, and so I got to stretch the dollars. Right. And so I applied to Hampton, ODU, and Norfolk State. And Norfolk State presented the best opportunity because it wasn't, I don't think it was the cheapest. So I want to say it might have been a little bit more expensive than ODU. I don't remember anymore. But they accepted most of the credits from my SMART transcript or with JST now. But it was SMART then. Right. Yeah. And so they allowed me to come in for a degree in electronic technology as a second semester sophomore. So I only did 2.5 years of college. Okay. Whereas if I went to ODU, I would have to do double E in electrical engineering, and it would have been like 21 credits a semester because they weren't going to take as many credits. Yeah. And so Norfolk State was the best option out of all the options I had. Because I got into all 3. Mm-hmm. But Norfolk State was the one that helped me commission the fastest. Okay. And ended up being the right decision, man, because I'm so proud to have graduated from Norfolk State, man.
That's good.
It's awesome. I just talked to one of my instructors last week. Really? Still in touch with some of the staff on campus.
You had a journey just up to that point.
Yeah.
It was something to see. You know, somebody that came up with you probably like, Des is really doing this thing over there. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Because like, man, you came in, and you talking about dual qualified, you're like, oh, you just get it.
And that's the thing, too. The other thing, too, this is the other piece of it. Remember I said I transferred September 2002. Mm-hmm. I transferred after the E6 exam. So my whole time in college, I got paid the E6. I made it off that test.
Oh, okay.
See? So I actually, when they closed up my listed record, I'm ET1. SWAW.
He said, put some respect on that.
Yeah.
That's it.
No
That's
doubt.
it. I earned it.
Yeah. No, you did.
Put some respect on that.
Your first tour as an ensign. Like,
Yep.
Where was that at?
Yeah. So that was on USS Baton, LHD 5.
Okay.
Dirty Nickel, what's up?
Dirty Nickel.
Yeah.
That's a new one. I ain't heard that one.
It's when I saw one of the suppos on there now last week. I was like, hey, y'all still call it Dirty Nickel? He was like, yep.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That's
He was
why-
on.
Yeah.
That's right. He was on that too. That's right.
Yeah.
I was second, third Divo, so well deck and small boats for 18 months, and then they moved me to A trainer once I got my SWO pin.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my formative years as a SWO. Interesting experience. So we were I was on Baton when we responded to Katrina.
Okay.
So we were on site first 21 days, that response as well, which was great seeing Dutch Navy, Mexican Navy, Canadian Navy.
Everybody coming together.
U.S. Coast Guard, and we was the hub because when Katrina first hit off, the nav aids was messed up. So we couldn't even go up. They wanted us to go to the Mississippi River, but we couldn't. We had to stay out.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what, so we ended up being the hub. And so watching those sailors doing well deck ops every day, and you see folks carrying water and food and clothes, and you see cycles of the fleet surgical team, folks going out and coming back. And dude, I'm telling you, man, that was something to behold. And so that set the tone for my Divo tour. And then we deployed in late 2006, because I left in 2007.
Okay.
Yeah, after that deployment. Yeah.
So when you on eight or nine total deployments?
It's 8 now. Yeah,
8.
I'm up to 8. Yeah, just got back from that one, the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into that one.
Okay. All right.
We all seen it on the news. Truman Strike Group.
Yep.
Right. Mentally being out there, and I'm jumping ahead. I'm gonna come back to some other stuff.
Okay.
But you brought it up.
It's all good.
Mentally being out there, like, how was that? Going through all of that. This as a person.
Yeah.
Because I tell people all the time, we know we do GQ drills.
Yep.
But when they say GQ and you ain't hearing this is a drill, this is a drill.
Yeah.
What's that like?
Well, I would tell you, I would tell you, I went to GQ for training more than I did for real life. I can tell you that. We fought the ship from Condition 3. Every engagement was from Condition 3.
Wow.
Because that's how we built our team. So I started back in basic phase on how we was going to fight the ship, and worked with the chief's mess, worked with the wardroom. We talked about it all. We kind of had this battle rhythm of what kind of culture we want to have.
Okay.
For combat.
Okay.
And keep in mind, at the end of the day, do you really need to see combat? No.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm glad we did it the way we did, because by the time we got to advanced phase, Carney popped off missiles.
Yeah.
So it was a game changer by that point. It's like, okay, no, there is a real chance we might see some stuff. And so how do we build our team while we're still in Norfolk to be ready for operating in the Mediterranean Sea or in the Red Sea? And so, yeah. But for me personally, very, very rewarding experience, very challenging experience, because it was, you give, especially, I can speak for myself, but as a CEO, you give so much of yourself. I used to tell my folks all the time, I would say, I am Stout and Stout is me.
Okay.
And so then I would say it like that because I want them to understand, however you feel, trust me, you're not going to feel it more than me, because I got all of it. I'm the only one that's got all of it. Right? You got a piece of it, and your piece of it may feel very heavy, but I'm the only one that's got all of it. So don't even try to compare.
Yeah.
Right? And so strong XO, strong Master Chief, strong department heads, and strong Chief's Mess is what got me through that deployment. Facts.
And what was some things that you did to kind of help you mentally to keep your sanity? I know you are avid, gym guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, or whatever.
Yeah.
So because again, like you said, you carry all of it, and that can be very, very, very stressful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, to the young officers that's watching, listening, and everything like that, what were some of the things you did to help you kind of balance or neutralize the stress? Because you can't just totally get rid of it.
I would say two things. One, pace yourself. One thing my Master Chief would say, Command Master Chief Earl Ashley, what up, my dude? Pace yourself. Don't try to conquer the world, just conquer the moment.
Okay.
Right? And so, meaning focus on things you can control. Right. You can control how much you study. You can control how much sleep you get. You can control if you pick between playing on your phone on Wi-Fi hours or getting some sleep. Right?
Yeah.
Those are choices. The Navy didn't do nothing to you. You made those choices. Right? And just make sure we beat that drum. And then the second one was don't get too high, don't get too low. Yeah. Context and perspective is your best advisor, right? And you can celebrate the wins, you can mourn the losses, but don't stay there too long.
Okay.
Right? Because you never know what's on the other side. Right? And so.
Yeah. Okay. And also, I guess for the crew that was there, you know, I mean, this generation of sailors is a lot of, I didn't sign up for this, or I didn't sign up for that. But, you know, out there, y'all was in the thick of the things, you know, and how was it, you know, kind of keeping their stress level down? Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, we built it, man. What I would say is, you know, first off, our whole deployment, no suicide ideations, no SRBs. Good. We were in the Red Sea for 5 straight months, no liberty, and we didn't lose a single sailor.
That's huge.
And so, you know, we celebrated that with our team. But we built, like I'm telling you, man, we built it in basic phase. Yeah, brick by brick, man. That wasn't just for the social media, man. That was real. You know, that was real. We laid down that foundation of toughness and resilience. And warrior toughness, you know, people turn into a bumper sticker and they make all these excuses on why it don't work and it wasn't trained right. Oh man, warrior toughness was a concept that was given to you if you didn't have a concept. Right? That's a good point. If you didn't if you don't have something, we got warrior toughness.
I got something for you.
Because everybody ain't like what's the SEAL dude that's always cussing folks out? What's his name again? I'm drawing a blank. Dude. Always running and shit.
Guggen? No.
Not Guggen. The bald head brother.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, you know, some people use him as an example. That's great. That is an example. Right. Warrior toughness is an example. And if you ain't got nothing in here, then take warrior toughness and make it your own. Right. And so so for me, I talk about toughness and resiliency all the time. Because make him, I'm gonna take that piece of it and then just layer it in to make sure my leadership remains authentic. And that's what we did through the whole training cycle. So by the time we showed up, we was ready to go.
Ready to rock and roll.
Absolutely.
So coming off these EXO, let's talk about the EXO tour on the Bainbridge.
Okay.
What was like your expectations? You know, this coming in like you went through the pipeline as a nuke officer, and that was challenging. For those who don't know, challenging. So, but you made it through. Now you got EXO on the Bainbridge. How was that?
That was a trial by fire for sure, in a positive way. Because I was actually a reslate. I was supposed to go to USS Chaffee, but then I got by name requests to go work at Second Fleet as the EA at Second Fleet, Vice Admiral Lewis at the time, and so I had to reselect ships.
So hold on.
And so
you said you was an aide to Second Fleet?
Yes.
Let's talk about that first. Then we go to the other thing.
Yep.
Like you this guy, like
just a dude.
Just the dude from Mississippi.
That's it. Yeah,
long way from Mississippi.
What was that like? The aid job.
So it's COVID, right?
Okay.
And you know, with everything going around COVID, you know, culturally and all those kind of stuff, wrote an article that resonated with a lot of folks in the Navy, and that created a unique opportunity. Basically, the Admiral staff reached out and said, "Hey, really love what you wrote. Got to think about some other stuff. Would you come get on a VTC with us and talk about some stuff?" I said, "Okay, cool." And on that VTC, "Hey, I want you to come work for me." And, that's what happened. Wow. And so I moved from Florida to Virginia during COVID, picked up the family, and became executive assistant to 2nd Fleet for about a year.
Wow. So in that article, if I'm not mistaken, you mentioned that 7% of Navy officers is Black.
Yeah.
And when you come into a room, it's just like you can't make mistakes.
That pressure is there for sure.
It's there. So unpack that. How does that pressure feel? You can always feel like a one-on-one. Mm-hmm. And to me, kind of like I said before, context and perspective are the best advisors. And for me, old country world Mississippi, it's like, okay, time to go to work. Mm. It's lock in and do that. But what misses people sometimes is the acknowledgement that the military is a performance-based industry, right? And so performance can be a natural equalizer, right? And so whatever my motivations are, that's fine with me as an individual. I can tell myself, hey, you know what? Because of this demographic, I need to put in this kind of effort. Mm. That's not to discredit the amount of effort somebody else got to put in.
Right.
But I'm looking at two goats right now.
Right.
You can't tell me you got here because somebody gave it to you.
Right.
But
right.
Right.
Right. So enlisted or officer, if you bout that work, then you bout that work.
Right.
Right. And whatever your motivation is, lock in on that and let it fuel you. And so that's what it was for me. It was an opportunity, has merit preparation, go execute. And then the performance will speak for itself. Because think about it, the performance, the record of that point got me the opportunity. Mm-hmm. The opportunity wasn't given to me, right? And so that's what when I'm mentoring folks, that's how I explain it. It's like it's a performance-based organization. You got to perform, and so when someone's looking at your name, what's your record say? Mm. And not how you feel about your record, but what's your record say? Right. Does your record say what needs to be said for this performance-based organization? Right.
And also, you had made mention about you carrying so others don't have to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So my question is, who do you feel carried for you?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, probably kind of doing a little bit of education on my own, looking back at history. The Golden 13 comes up a lot. Mm. And you saw what I put in the one group about the belt buckles, right? Golden 13 is more than a belt buckle.
Absolutely.
Right? And so take with that what you will.
Right.
If you want to boil that experience, that moment in history as just, I'm going to put some on my belt buckle to help me shine, do you, boo-boo. Mm-hmm. But
because they definitely carried.
But they carried some stuff, right? Yeah. And then you fast forward to somebody like Vice Admiral Gray, who got a ship named after.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so when you have the evidence, if you choose to ignore that and don't want to add your body of work to it, that's a choice you're making at that stage, right?
That was deep.
And so for me,
that was deep.
For me, it's instead of why me, why not me? If it's my turn to run, it's my turn to run.
Right.
Whatever that means, that's what it means. And the thing about it is, again, pick a demographic. It don't matter to me. You want to work, You want to grind? Let's go.
Let's go.
I tell people all the time, because I'm standing on the shoulders of those who came before
That's
me.
it, man.
I don't mind lending
That's
my
it.
shoulders.
I didn't get it by myself.
But my shoulders come at a price. Don't be up there on top of these things playing around.
Right.
I need you to be handling business because you're heavy.
Yes.
Because you are heavy.
Yes.
I will lend you my shoulders, no problem. But
Absolutely.
do not play on them.
Absolutely.
Man,
Facts.
good answer.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah, that was beautiful. So in that world, being the aide, what other personnel did you meet, like other branches of service that
Yeah.
Marines, Air Force?
Well, that's what's different about Second Fleet. This dual had it as Joint Force Command Norfolk, NATO Command. So my exposure was not limited to the United States. I'm working for the principal who also is a part of 3 commands as part of NATO. And so in his dual hat, the other executive assistant was a German officer.
Right.
Post 05 command. Or no, post Commodore. He had just finished Commodore of a mine sweep command. And so I got me screened for CO, have another EA German officer, right? Post major command, we were 2 sides of the same coin supporting a 3-star in their mission for Second Fleet. It was nothing like it, man. It was beautiful.
Wow.
That was a wonderful experience.
Yeah. What kind of good meals you ate?
Dude, man, the Subway and the mini mix, like everybody else.
I think this dude getting something heavy.
Yeah, I had a
something
choice
that.
between Subway and Panda Express. What are you talking about?
Somebody cooking for the air. Somebody cooking for the air.
He was bringing his own lunch.
Nah, man.
Oh, the occasional Popeyes with me and the N1 down on Hampton Boulevard.
What's the answer you was expecting?
That's what I was eating.
I know the Popeye you're talking about.
Oh, goodness. I was getting BAS like everybody else.
I got you.
Oh, goodness.
So Exo Tour, you lay there, you fleet up. So how was this Exo Tour? It set you up for the big.
The Exo Tour was great because, again, this burden, right? I did not have the burden of command. You got the CO. We call it triad. There's one CO.
Right. Yeah.
There's only one CO.
Yeah,
ain't no CMC out here writing policy. You're just not. Chief Smiths execute.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So, senior enlisted advisor, captain, here's my thoughts. Here's what dead place they be saying, right? And there's XO, right? XO is man training. Man and training, right? And maintenance. That's XO.
Right.
That's XO world.
Big maintenance.
Right?
Bad guy.
And so I owe that to the captain because the captain's on mission. I get rounds down range. I get the helo off the deck, helo on the deck, right? I got to get the boat in the water, recover the rib, right?
Yeah.
That's the CO. So I don't need the CO worrying about fleet temps and BBDs.
You're right.
I don't need the CO worrying about training plans.
Right.
Let me do this DITS. All right, Captain, here's this training plan for this division. Here's the training. Let me show you some stuff that you ask some critical questions, but the day-to-day, let me work that for you. That's what I did as XO. And then you shape and mold the Chief's mess, you shape and mold the ward, you shape and mold the deck plate through black and white. What is it? What is it supposed to be? That's the beautiful thing about being prior enlisted. You sniff out the BS. I love doing spot checks. Man, ooh.
Right.
I love doing spot checks.
As a new Dibbo, they probably was like, oh, this dude don't know.
No, eat him up.
I want to say, he don't
Eat him
know.
up.
He don't. But no,
He just
then they look at the
said
uniform.
His maintenance was done by Wednesday. His maintenance was done by Wednesday.
So you already know they was getting.
Sometimes PMC had to come to like, hey, sir, I know you used to have paper boards.
Yeah.
But we have scans for a reason.
Yeah. Right.
And so just understand, I said, I got 3MC, but they gonna know.
They gonna know.
They gonna know.
Because that's one thing you can sit up there really and talk. Hey, I know this.
Yes.
It's not what somebody told me or I had to learn later on.
Yeah.
This is my beginning.
Yeah. He's like, I know this for MIG is in SCED. But if he can't find it and click on it's the same problem, 3MC.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask.
Right.
Yeah, you like me.
Show me how do you know how do you know you can alternate that? How do you know you can substitute that?
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear just some BS. Oh well, the instruction says works in the suit and authorized. The works in the soup has limitations. I'm happy for the young E5
right.
and all his power that he wields. But the knowing, let's get past the PQS line item. Let's get some deeper knowledge, because one day you may be the chief.
There you go. And speaking of one day you may be the chief, I mean, you made it to first class. Is that something that you kind of wish that?
Nah, man, I'm good. I'm straight chief's mess. I'm good. I thought about it a few times. When I was the department head, it did hit me a few times. Like, man,
I could have been over there.
I could have been over there, but everything happens for a reson. Everything happens for a reason.
No doubt.
You know. And what I will tell you though is, I have the utmost respect for the mess.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what. And sometimes that was one of the challenges I had as XO, is getting the chief's mess to appreciate my intentions. Right. You know, because you'll have some chiefs that say you're not letting them do their job.
Absolutely.
Right. And what I had to get them to understand was, you have a bigger role than just being the chief. Your sailors, your officers need to understand what kind of burden that is when you say you the chief. One of the things I used to say, I took it into my SEAL command, still in the expo conversation, but the way I used to say it was, I care about you being the chief from September to August, not August to September.
That's right.
Because if you being the chief from September to August, when you go play little reindeer games, the crew can handle it. Yeah. I can deal with you not being there because you spent the other 11 months actually training people, actually making stuff happen.
Right.
You know? Right. And so that's what I bring. I bring that energy to the mess. Okay, you backbone? All right, let me see.
Right, you talking that talk.
You know what I mean? You talking that talk.
Talking that talk.
Right. You know what I mean?
Let me see what you got.
Exactly. Yeah. Right? And so that's the kind
of... And we scream baby pride.
You know what I mean? Yo, funny story. So I'm working for the CEO. I know you brought out working for the CEO, Amber Richardson. And he did this, I don't even know if it's on Facebook, but he did he went overseas. So I don't know if it was Bahrain or something else. He went somewhere and met with the chief's mess. And they said, they introduced him, and they were like, Navy Chief, Navy Pride. And he was like, yeah, that's good. But then he proceeded to read the receipts. They walked right into it. They walked right into it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's that Navy chief thing is big. And if you want leaders to put you on that pedestal like that, then you gotta own that all the time.
All the time.
You don't get to pick. You don't get to pick. You don't get to pick and choose that.
That switch never cuts off.
Right. You know what I mean?
It never cuts off.
You know what I mean? And not saying. And here's the thing. You a sailor too, right? Oh, so if you gotta take a knee, take your knee. But because you are a chief, hey, Master Chief, hey, Crazy 8, hey, Divo, this where I'm at. I need a minute.
Yeah.
Right? Because you are owed that, because we already know what's placed on you.
Yeah.
So don't pick and choose when you the anchor. Because all I see is the anchor.
All the time.
I'm telling you, this woman, listen, this is where I really I'll mess up some folks. I would, if I was really in a mood, especially as XO. Because I remember some stuff from boot camp. This is nothing I remember from boot camp. They knew I was upset when I would say stuff like, gold filed anchor with a silver superimposed USN.
Ooh.
Because
that's touch some feelings there.
That's when I say that. Stand by.
And the way that you said it,
stand by. Because the mess has pissed off the XO, and I don't care what Master Chief say. Master Chief is off to the side at this point because his input is irrelevant. Because the Master Chief has two officers, XO and CO.
Yeah.
That mess is a CO's mess, not the CMC's mess, right? And so, just Chief's mess understanding that that's why the wardroom is the way it is because you hold yourself in such high regard. We are trained and taught to revere you like that.
Right.
So when we bring that energy and you can't match it, we're looking like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And that's and keep in mind, tracking that in today's, maybe probably for the last 10 years, damn near 80% of the Chiefs mess is first-time Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
Trust me, that's all that's baked in.
Yeah.
I've had conversations where it's like, hey, you know, the last time that sailor who's now a chief was at sea, they was a second class. So got it. All that's baked in. But guess what? You got the anchor now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do about it?
Yeah, I got what you.
Yes, sir.
She was a second class.
Yeah.
But now they represent just like the rest of them around
And if that hungry first class is running circles around you as a chief, why? You see that first class in them books, them first class breaking out them NSTMs, trying to figure out how stuff is going? Who are you to say because you're the chief, you can't get in them same books?
You gotta bow down, gotta let that pride go.
If you gotta bow down, you gotta bow down. No different than the way that a chief will look at a divo that the divo has the rank but don't have the experience. That's your assigned officer. I don't even think, I was thinking about this over here, but it's like, what, if I had one thing for the Chiefs mess, it would be this. If you like or don't like your CO, ask yourself what kind of chief that they have when they was a divo.
That's my question all the time. Whenever I run into an officer or somebody, that's my go-to thought process. Like, okay, why are they like that? Who in the chief mess has rubbed them the wrong way, brought them up the like why? And a lot of times, sometimes, about 90% of the time, I try to make it my business to right that wrong. Yeah. You know? Absolutely. Because it's just like, because even you conversating right now, I'm like, we're going to have to change topics here in a minute. We ain't going to be here. You know what I'm saying? You know, I let you slide a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's all love, though. That's all respect. I know. That's all respect. But again, like that is my go-to. Those are the times when I start asking the questions like, okay, who did it? Yeah, who? Because you can tell. For sure. When that XO, that CO come in, after a few conversations, you can tell what they really feel about the chief man. You know? And it's just like somebody done messed it up. Yeah, but I'm telling you, Master Chief Stanley Earl and Williams and BMC Enix. Yeah, my dude's first Divo tour.
Right, and you know when you see an officer, you like, oh yeah, he or she. You know, I don't always like to say it was trained right. You know, they had a good chief. Yeah, they had I call it a net positive experience. Right, they had a good chief with them. Positive. Yeah, they had a great chief with them because they understand some things. You know, you like, I got it that you've never been a chief, but you understand what we don't. Absolutely. And most importantly, I understand your role and your position as that officer. Absolutely. You know, and once you get to understand that as a chief, the relationship works well. That's 100%, man. It works well. 100%. You see it a lot. You know, more than some people say, oh, yeah, my divo this, my divo that. But what are you doing? With him and her? Yeah. What are you doing? And are you sitting there talking to me about it? Or are you sitting down with them and talking about it? And I loved it when as XO, man, when the chief or the officer would come into my stateroom and say, I have this challenge with my chief or my officer. I loved that because it meant they cared. It meant they were trying. Yeah. And so I take that any day of the week. A chief and a divo that's having leadership challenges, but want to work together and just don't know how to make it work. Man, that's the secret sauce, man. Yeah. Because if the chief and divo is two sides of the same leadership coin. Oh yeah. And it's like we hand in hand. Absolutely. You know, and as you continue to grow, like, you know, now you're a senior chief, you might be working with a department head. You know, the master chief, you definitely working with a department head. Absolutely. So those relationships, you know, you build as a chief too. Facts. Because you get better. It's not like people, oh, well, I can't learn nothing from him or her. Please. You can learn a lot. You know, especially the seasoned ones that's been around for a while. They educate you. Or you get that prior enlisted divo. Right. They understand, you know, in our world, in the aviation world, we get more like LDOs and warrants. We get a few, you know, straight officers, you know, coming out of college, but get the shooters and stuff like that. But we work with them. Yep, exactly. You know, we work with them, you know, and make them, you know, stronger, and they make us smarter. Yeah, you know, at the same time. So that's a blessing. So you leave the USS Brainbridge as the XO, and now you get to walk down the pier, and we got ding, 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 USS STOUT arriving.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
So
let's talk about that.
Yeah, talk about this.
Something like that.
Well, because it's I screened for commanding officer float, CO float. So that means you go into the fleet up model. So the original plan was, now, like I said, I reslated from Chafee to Bainbridge. So I was supposed to do XO and fleet up to CO on Bainbridge. However, I transferred I detached from Bainbridge and go to the PCO course up in Newport, 3-week course. And day one, my name tag says Bainbridge, all this kind of stuff. I'm feeling good. Built my team. You recruiting folks to try to fleet up and all this kind of stuff on the ship and everything. And I walk out of class that first day. My phone is blowing up. And I was like, what the world's going on? I'm seeing names from folks I ain't heard from in years.
Yeah.
So I'm scrolling through and I see one of my officers from Bainbridge, and, it was WTF with a link. And unfortunately, the previous CO had been relieved. But what normally doesn't happen is who the next relief is in there. So my name was in the release. And that's how I found out. And so, needs to say it was a gut punch, because I had put my heart and soul into Bainbridge to set them up for success, and then my eventual taking command and then have to shift to STOUT was a challenging time, because I still had to go through the course, but first of all, my family asking questions, how you gonna deal with that? How you gonna respond? And so processed it, took some time, still got through the PCO course. My wife helped me get through kind of the mental hurdles of it. I talked to the Commodore, which was a great conversation. And like I said, you never know what's going to happen. And I thought, and as I put it in perspective, I've been reslated every time, going back to my first department head tour. First department head, reslate. Second department head, reslate. Shore duty, like I just talked about going to second fleet. I wasn't supposed to go to second fleet, reslate. Bainbridge was a reslate, right? And so who else but me get another reslate? Right.
Is that normal? Is that normal?
So I don't know. For a sample size of one, no, it ain't normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one of my mentors, Admiral Jesse Wilson, had told me years ago, Bloom where you planet. And that's the mindset I had. I didn't care what had happened.
That's another gem.
I didn't care what I didn't care what happened before I got orders to USS STOUT. So I was like, okay, let me lock in. And I brought the same strategy I had for Bainbridge on my thought process. The only difference was I know the sailors.
The people.
I know the sailors.
Yeah.
And so, and of course, I had my own thoughts about why everything happened, but I didn't that wasn't my motivation, because decision makers make decisions for whatever reason that they make them.
Right.
I just know that I was one that was called up from the bullpen, and so I wanted to do the best job I could do for those sailors and for the Navy. And so took command. Then an hour later, had department heads in the cabin. Here we go. Let's start running. Yeah. And the rest is history.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was they even doing that? Like you come on there, the officers fresh to you. You know, like I said, you building a team on the Bainbridge. Yeah. And it's like, wow, I got another chief semester.
Yeah.
Get used to, get a whole, the CMC. Yeah. We got to have a relationship,
Yeah, a new CMC came in about a month after I did.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Earl Ash, he came in about a month after I did.
Wow. But y'all got it together. And,
Yeah. There was me, the XO, CMC, Figured out the chief's mess, figured out the wardroom, figured out the deck plate. Sprinkle some stuff in there. I had my philosophy was define the standard, own the standard, become the standard. And I leveraged that from a perspective of the standard is whatever the instructions and the policy say we're supposed to do. People you can let people go down these rabbit holes about standards being different and stuff like that. My only counter to that would be policy is as good or as bad as execution. And that was kind of my approach is whatever the black and white is, let's have educated discussions about what this policy is and if we can or cannot do it. Because there's a difference between knowing what to do and can't do it, and knowing what to do and not doing it, and then not knowing what to do. Right. And so we spent a lot of time making sure that we knew what to do so that we could start a culture, set a climate of building self-sufficiency. Because like I said, going in day one, I knew the ship was deploying. And so what kind of team do we want to have in theater? I had to start building that the first day.
Yeah, you don't wait till you get in.
Yeah, I can't chop in the Fifth Fleet then and say, let's get ready. Right? Otherwise, that's the point of basic phase, advanced phase. That's the point of those different, that's the point of the training cycle. And so how do we leverage that as a team? And then my mindset was our programs, policies, procedures, and processes are how we take care of our people, our 5 Ps. And I beat that like a drum as well. I asked all kind of questions. Again, with my ET background, I knew how to ask technical questions. I told my chain routine and my CS, I was like, hey, you see my background. I'm not an aegis guy. I know how to ask questions. I know how to read. So I'll pull a TCP or I'll pull a check sheet and, I'll cross-reference it with OHMs or AWN and cross-reference that with 3M and cross-reference that with the battle orders and cross-reference that with something else. I'm like, hey, these things don't match. So what are we doing about it? Now that's the energy that I brought. And then the sailors slowly gravitated towards that. With me just saying, let's go this way. I don't want to go this way. I'm going to go this way. And before we knew it, we had built a combat ready team.
There you go. So when you go on deployment, how was that first port visit as a CO?
Oh man, stressful as hell. Because we was for weather avoidance. Yeah, man. I was up in the Norwegian Sea, man, and we had bad weather, so we had to take safe haven in Norway.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was us and Jason Dunham. Stressful as hell, but we got it done. Yeah. Me and my my WEPS was commanding officer. What? Woo!
Right.
It was.
Did you ever have a port visit where it was like a relax,
No. You never relax.
Yeah, as a CEO, I would imagine
you as good as your last collision.
Well, not you. I'm talking about like your any for the ship. Y'all pulled in somewhere.
Yeah.
But even though y'all in port, as you being the CEO, what was like running through your mind? Like, man, I hope we make it out of here safe.
No, not really. Because again, by that time, I had my team.
I got you.
Right, and so I understood, and I had, like I said, my department heads were great. They, especially my CSO, he was awesome. He challenged himself to try to get ahead of me, right, which was great. And he was a senior watch officer. That's what I was trying to get to. And so what the department heads figured out was it's a team. I don't care what CSO thinks. Chang is providing air, power, and water. CSO is integrating the combat system suite, comms, networks, link, all that stuff. WEPS, get my rounds down range, right? Who's up? Chang. Oh no, I got Chang, CSO, WEPS.
Supply.
But it was somebody else before Suppo. Shoot. WEPS, CSO, Chang. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Ops. Yeah, ops. That's what it is. Yeah, ops is the one that understands where the ship's supposed to be at all times. And then my suppo is my battle suppo, my logistics warfare officer, right? And I would tell them all the time, whatever the problem is, one of you all probably should be helping the one that owns the problem. Rarely is any problem a single department head's issue, right? And so I boxed them in to make sure they always moved as a team, which then that created space,
right,
for me to now stay at the command level. Because I was talking about, yo, I've been a Divo twice, been a department head twice. I'm not doing it a third time, right? So if you want to keep me at the command level, go run the ship.
Makes sense.
And when you need a decision, I'm here. Because that's the making decisions is the job in command. I'm making hundreds of decisions every single day.
Every day.
So going back to your point about port visits, man, most port visits, I was in my rack. Man, yeah, y'all gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Me and the track, we'll go get some dinner later. I want to say we probably get a ride to the mall every now and then. You know, if we can get food delivered to the ship, that's what we did. All three of us. XO trying to get caught up on work.
Right.
Because ain't nobody knocking on his door because everybody on Liberty.
Right.
CMC sleep because ain't no Chiefs coming knocking on his door. Right. And I'm getting sleep because ain't nobody knocking on my door. Right. And so to make sure everybody get back to the ship safe, you know, we got 100% at Liberty expiration. Duty sections on point. IAT ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping like a baby.
There you go. There you go. What did man in the rails look like for you?
Oh man, so coming from deployment.
You know,
oh
the
man, it was
CO,
beautiful.
you got
that was beautiful.
People out there.
That was beautiful. We had everybody in their whites. You know, some folks in the line handle stuff in their type in their Tupacs. I played Earth, Wind, and Fire, pulling in. And
What song though?
Let's screw tonight.
Oh, you ready? It's on.
Share the spice of life. Oh yeah, the families loved it. They could hear the music. They was cheering and stuff. It was beautiful.
That's good.
Yeah, man. We had the battle flag in the background. It was good.
That's a moment that you'll remember.
Absolutely.
Speaking of moments, you know, we have a part of the show that we call your legendary moment. Right? And someone that has had so many moments, such as yourself, and with more moments to come, what would you say would be your legendary moment? You know, when they were just like, hey, this is more than about just a 9 to 5, more than just a job. You mentioned earlier.
You mean like
you came in, this was just another job. You know, and you've done very, very well. So when it was just like, yo, I think this is kind of like my calling, what I was meant to do, you know. It's about my legacy, about giving back. Your legendary moment.
A legendary moment that convinced me that the Navy was my path. I would say, I don't want to get too in the weeds, but I would probably say certifying nuclear engineer.
That's a
as a Divo, second tour Divo, because I failed the first time. You get 2 chances to pass it.
Wow.
And when I failed the first time, I was flown back out to the ship that was on deployment, and I was heartbroken. I gave that thing everything I had. I was like, I ain't got nothing left.
Okay.
I got nothing left to give. You want me to do it again and then add an extra section to the process? And I remember like it was yesterday. I was in Central studying. No, I want to say, let's say I had a book open. I wasn't studying.
I can understand that. I've done that before.
Book is open. I'm looking like I'm still in the fight. And the RO comes down, Captain Dean Ross, I'll never forget him. He sits down beside me and he says, "Do you want this?" And I said, old Mississippi boy came back to the top. Yeah, I still want it. And he was like, "Good, because I failed the first time too."
Okay.
After that, I was ready to go.
It's on.
Guys, you know, I logged back in. We had a very good conversation about changing up how you prep and all this kind of stuff. And went back to DC, passed the second time. And what was crazy was, I won't get, like saying, don't get too many details, but it was the way it happened. The dude walks in. He was I want to say he was a chief because everybody wears civilian clothes of naval reactors. I want to say he was a chief. Walked in and said, "Lieutenant Walker?" Like, yeah. It's like one of your portions wasn't that good, but your oral interview was so good, you had to pass. There was no way we couldn't fail you because it was so good. I dropped down to the floor. I was, thank you, Jesus.
right.
Man,
right.
All the other officers that was there, we was clapping because they knew my story.
Yeah.
And that was, to me, that was a version of divine intervention. I was like, something tipped the scales that said I'm supposed to be here. And again, based on performance, right? Yeah. Whatever I said was so accurate that they were confident that I could be certified to supervise a nuclear propulsion plant, Navy nuclear propulsion plant. And I carried that with me to this day. Yeah. No one can tell me I'm not supposed to be in the Navy at this point. From that moment, nobody could tell me I'm not supposed to be in the Navy. And of course, still had challenges and all. Still had.
But that was that moment.
But that if I ever lost my way, I go back to that waypoint. Nope, there's something else for you. Keep going. Keep going.
Now, another question, because I thought about this in your story. That officer coming to you and asking you, do you still want it? And him telling you, I failed mine too the first time.
Yeah.
How impactful was that? Because sometimes
it's a game changer, man. Yeah. It's a game changer because failing was not an option. Yeah. Right? Going back to the representation piece, the burden piece, you don't want to let anybody down.
Right.
And keep in mind too, I'm also the dude had 3 OOD boards, right? Had to have 2 SWO boards. So I understood, that kind of remediation to get over the hump just to have the permission to keep going. Right. So that part wasn't foreign to me. This was the one where, somebody in Norfolk State who was a lieutenant and my advisor said, you can do this. And I didn't do it. Because I was, like I said, I picked up core for State 21. I didn't pick up SWO nuke. I didn't get SWO nuke until after I had a year in college. Because I had to establish a GPA first.
I got you.
I established a GPA for calculus and calculus-based physics. Once I was eligible, Lieutenant, at the time, Paul Allgaier, now Captain Paul Allgaier, it's like, yo, Desmond, you are eligible for this. You can do this. It's the same seashore rotation, just extra money, but with the bonuses, you have the aptitude and capacity to do this. And so, went and did the interviews, got selected, and now here it is. That's 2004, right? And now fast forward 2010, 6-year investment, and I failed. That was a punch to the gut, right? And like I ain't the smartest dude, but you talking about outwork me. Right?
I got you.
So I got the effort's gonna be there. I am the example of a very hard-earned B+. You know what I mean?
B+.
You know what I mean? And so, but there's a minimum for a reason.
Right.
You know what I mean? But and that's a high bar. But to overcome that setback. Now that's the piece, the toughness and resilience piece. That's the piece I take away is the way I responded is something that nobody can ever take away from me. And so I got, and again, in command, I got no excuse. Right? Otherwise, everything I've been saying about motivation is BS because now it's time for me to step up.
Right.
I'm saying, nope, that's too hard. I can't say it's too hard.
Right.
I can't.
Especially because you're telling others.
Right.
Hey, keep going.
Keep going. You know what I mean? And so, that was my legendary moment.
Good one. Now, also, speaking about keeping going and everything like that, avid gym guy.
Yeah.
Where that come from and why do you feel like, your commitment to, physical health is so important?
Yeah. So, during my ops tour, I was in a car accident and actually was in the car accident. It was a rear fender bender. It was crazy. Me and Chang went to go eat Chick-fil-A after firefighting school instead of going back to the ship. And so
went to the ship.
Right? It wasn't Burger Day, so no, I think I want to say it was Mystery Monday. And so but I didn't go to the hospital after the rear end. I was in the passenger side. Fast forward several months on deployment, found out that I had a herniated disc from that. And so my right arm is like going numb and stuff. I had to call medical emergency. Long story short on that, finished the deployment. Kudos to my OCO, Eddie Crossman, who kept me going on deployment. Got the evaluations done, found out I had a herniated disc, had to have replaces. It's called an ACDF. They had to basically, what they did was the C5, C6 vertebrae are now fused with a cadaver bone for the disc, a plate with 2 screws in each vertebrae towards the end of my ops tour. And part of that recovery, when I got to the Vinson Geobatch tour, I was like, now that the neck has fully healed, what can I do with this energy? Or lack of energy, because it's nuclear. I'm the CRA. It's a tough culture, hard work. What's my outlet? If I can't, cause my family's in Jacksonville, I'm in San Diego, right? So I'm living on the ship, and I'm like, okay, well, let me, what can I do? Let me start going to the gym, right? Started going to the gym, started feeling better. You know, after the first 2 weeks in gym is kicking my butt, but I pushed through, had a plan, had the workout apps, all that good stuff. Started eating better, straight up. About 5 or 6 months after hitting the gym, I went to go see the family. The wife liked the way I looked. There you go. Did the clothes. That was a little extra motivation. You know what I mean? And so then that turned into not just working out for my mental and my physical, but now I started setting challenges. Okay, well, how can I leverage? I hated running, but I found out about Spartan races and then jumped into that community, obstacle course racing, and that turned into a thing. So now I was look at my calendar, sign up for a race. Now I got a workout plan to train for the race. Ended up doing 11 Spartan races. 11. Wow. Yeah. 3 or 4 of them in the mountains. Yeah, man. Just getting after it.
Wow. So how long were you prepping for that?
It depends. I would give myself 3 to 6 months. Yeah.
And then that's them races where you in the mud.
I'm about to say, what all comes with that?
You're going through water. Oh, yeah. And it was crazy. I did one up in the mountains in Pennsylvania, and I had my Apple Watch going. I had burned 8,000 calories by the end of that race.
Wow.
I was sick too.
The race is like, is it in miles? Like how long?
Yeah, it's a sprint that's a 5K, a super that's a 10K, and a beast that's a half marathon. And it's 25, it's 20, 25, and 30 obstacles while you're running. Yeah. And sometimes I did a couple of them at National Park in the stadium too.
What's the time? You said, what were the different levels again?
Oh, sprint, super, and a beast.
So sprint. Yeah. What was your time? What's the normal time in the sprint?
Oh, it's whatever you want to do. That's the beauty of it. You know, it was all PR stuff for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was always trying. I would have set a PR and then try to beat it.
You'll make it all the way through.
Yeah. Oh, I finished every race.
I'm listening about the herniated disc, and you did that after.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've had hernia surgery, neck surgery, thumb surgery, appendectomy, right and left shoulder.
Yeah. Wait till you retire.
Oh.
Or watch what's going to happen to your body. Trust me.
Oh, I can already predict when it's going to rain. These knees tell me when it's going to rain.
Oh, yeah. They wear down. Them jokers wear down.
Yep.
Wear down.
Walk outside and be like, oh, yeah, it's going to rain.
But that's it. But even I had to fall back off the Spartan races after I got into XOCO. Just the time just wasn't there.
Yeah.
And so, but what I did keep the working out piece, that because my mind's all over the place. I'm always thinking, always going, always got ideas, you know. And so the gym helps me focus it. right? I would get a lot of the stuff, these gems I drop here, a lot of stuff came me working out.
Yeah.
When my brain can shut off and focus on one thing, I'll get these ideas and put them in my notepad.
Man.
You know, and I'll figure out how to apply it later. But I'll have got a running tally of just stuff that comes to me, and then I'll go back through it. If I got a problem, I'll go through it and see if something fits to get the juices flowing and go from there. Yeah, the physical fitness piece, man. But that's the thing I would call it, and I carried it into my command tour. Physical and mental fitness versus physical and mental health, right? Mental health gets this really big conversation, but I would talk about wellness. You know, mental health is going to get counseling, a checkup on your neuroactivity, all that kind of stuff. Right. But mental fitness, meditation, reading a book, sleeping, take 15 minutes to breathe, inhale, exhale, you got to do both.
Right.
You can't just say because I'm stressed or I'm anxious, I go to the hospital. No. Right. You gotta have some investment in your own mental wellness. Right. And so, which is a different conversation, but I talk about that too.
No, that's good, man. Because I think a lot of people don't use that, especially senior, whether it's enlisted officers, because you're so invested into your job.
Absolutely.
You don't have an outlet.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to do something. Right. To, blow that steam off. Because, you live by a phone forever. And that's stress.
Always.
So you have to be able to have an outlet, whether it's just walking, running, exercising, doing something, it helps.
Absolutely.
It helps.
Absolutely.
So you just received 2026.
FY 2026.
Yeah. Vice Admiral Stockdale Award.
And congratulations.
Congratulations to that, man.
Appreciate it.
That's huge.
Humbled and grateful.
What's that award about, one? And how did you find out when you won?
So I found out from a phone call from a 3-star telling me congratulations. I had won the Atlantic Fleet James Bond Stockdale Award. It's a peer-nominated award, meaning all the 05 COs across all of the unrestricted line designators can nominate a peer at that level. So you don't know if you're nominated. And then a selection board meets at the tank like every other board to then pick a PAC fleet and Atlantic Fleet person. I'm truly honored that first I was nominated and then the board selected me. So,
Okay. So with winning that award, right, do you feel like it validates, everything that you have done up until this point, or does it challenge you more to push yourself to the next level?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I got something else that I have to prove for all the right reasons. Everybody should have a goal, right? And while the Stockdale Award itself wasn't a goal, its tenets that it represents are goals. I going kind of what I said before about never asking sailors to do something that I wouldn't do. That's what I tried to embody with that crew.
Okay.
Whether it was day 1 or day 700 in my command tour, I tried to lead with authenticity. I tried to lead with empathy. I tried to lead with an expectation of performance. I always wanted people to know what I wanted from them, right? Because if it left it ambiguous, then you get down to these rabbit holes of performance that, you don't like me because of this, or you did this because of that. It's like, no, there is a standard and I'm just holding everybody to it.
Right.
Interesting, kind of going back to when I first found out I was coming to Stout, had a very good conversation with my Commodore at the time, Captain Blair Guy, where he said, ownership, accountability, and culture was the challenge. He didn't bring up basic phase. He didn't bring up deploy on time. He didn't bring up those standards, that are already. He didn't bring up that stuff. He was like ownership, accountability, and culture.
Yeah.
So I was, how do you get this ship to be what the Navy already expects it to be, right? And so to me, that's what that award validates is there was 300 sailors that bought into my vision for the ship and what our mission set was, and they brought their best selves to bear for us to be successful. And to me, I don't care what anybody says, my name is going to be on the award, but that is a team award from my perspective.
That's nice.
And the blessing is my peers recognize the body of work that suggests that our team performance, that I'm blessed that they consider me to be the catalyst for what that team did. And I'm a team guy all the way, because that was my, when I said I had a philosophy, had a mindset, and I had an approach, and it was always questioning attitude, attention to detail, and be a team player. That's that. I said it all the time, my whole time of command, from day one to the last day. And to me, that's what that award means, is that approach to team success is what created opportunity for me to earn that award.
Good answer. I think it kind of leads into my next question, which was about, the award itself. Not only is it about operational things or whatever, but there's other different pillars, that's from leadership to stewardship and things like that or whatever. And out of those different categories that award, kind of touch. I think, like I said, I think you kind of already answered it, but which one kind of resonated the most with you with the command, that you just left from, that helps, because again, it was like 9 candidates in total that was going for that.
Yeah. I'd probably say that you say one was the moral courage, right?
Right.
Probably that one, because the commanding officer is faced with a lot of decisions. CO has absolute authority, right, according to U.S. Navy regulations. So you get, like I said, you get all of it, right? So that means, every asset is on you.
Yeah.
Every qualification is on you. Every casualty is on you. Every repair is on you. Every training cycle, or training event,
Right.
Every promotion, you writing every fit rep, every eval that you're reporting senior for, you have people's career in your hands, right? And so when do you tell your Commodore, I can't do something? When do you tell Surflant you can't do something, right? When do you have to say, hey, sailors, I know you don't want to, but here's why we have to, right? You are 2,000 yards from shoal water on the bridge in restricted waters, and everybody's looking at you, right? And so that courage to be able to, a quote that says, courage on the other side of fear, right? That's kind of where you got to operate as a CO, is you can't freak out. You can't get too high. You can't get too low. Now, I'm telling you, it was some times in command too, where with those eyes zoom in on you.
They locked in.
CCS, combat, bridge, I felt it all. I know it's like to lose all power, and all I can do is run down to CCS, to sit in the chair, and let Chang do her thing. Right? And the best I can do is watch the clock. Like, okay, we got this much time before I lose this. I got this much time before I lose this. Right? And what are those impacts? I can remember just as clear as day. Or would be something would happen, and I would have to go to Central, and then what I hear Chang saying, I'm like, okay, she's got a clear way forward. And I'm listening to the nets because EAO and CSAO are talking, right? Hear what's going on. That gut instinct to know that Chang's got the plant on a path to being safe. So let me move myself to CSMC. So when CSO has to make a decision, I'm there and not in CCS, right? To me, that's the courage piece, right? Is knowing when I gotta be, my master to it, be where the place you are in today is where you need to be. And that's what that's that's what I would try to do.
And it's also kind of like, you know, the way I see it too is like giving that responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Right. You know, that's one thing about being a leader. Being a leader is also about letting go of things too.
Man, and that's so hard to do.
It is.
It's
right?
so hard to do.
Like you said, when it's just like, it's all on me.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's all on me.
Right.
But I gave this authority.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
we never really give away our authority.
I would tell them, I'll tell you, I'm delegating my authority to you. And I would tell the Chiefs the same thing. I give love to the Chiefs. I would tell them all in my training, all of you, whatever your assignment is, I don't care if it's EOSC or a training event, you are moving with the authority I have delegated to you.
Right.
So when you say something, I'm still responsible. It's on me.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But understand when you're speaking, you are speaking for me. Because I am Stout, Stout is me.
Right.
And if we have that appreciation for that tension, I give you all the room you need. Because I'm ready to throw my oak leaves or my sheriff's badge on the table when that phone call comes. When the Commodore calls, when the Admiral calls, know that they want to talk to me. They want to talk to you. Right? So I need to put back on the phone. That's the piece that the team has to appreciate. When it push come to shove, they want to talk to you. I want to talk to the captain. And what I owe you is clear expectations on how I'm moving that back and forth. I'm giving you some space. Understand, I get first right of refusal on when I take it back.
Man, if it's this
and you got to be okay with that.
Man, if it's this guy who said something similar a couple of days ago, you know, in a speech he gave, he said something about, you know, authority. You got to be fair. You can't hold somebody accountable for something that wasn't clear.
No.
And that's what you just said, you know, like.
This guy talking about me. He's the cop.
I was wondering where he was going.
That's where he going. He goes back. He let him take shots at me. You know, random. I built
but see, it was a guy who gave a opinion speech a couple of days ago.
Ooh,
so.
He talking about himself now. Yeah.
You know, that's good
stuff.
That's good stuff right there.
That's some good wisdom.
Absolutely.
That's some good wisdom. And you're speaking from the more experience than say, well, I heard about this.
Yeah. I lived it, man. I lived it.
Just the best experience. I mean, right now in this present day Navy, is very few that can say they experience, you know, combat.
Yeah, so it's only a handful of us, man. It's only a handful of us.
You know, everyone else is.
And here's the crazy thing. I talked to most of them. I didn't just show up in the Red Sea and say, okay, it's my turn. Let me go figure it out. Nah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Carney, this is the problem I have. This is what I'm thinking about. What do you think? Hey, Gravely, hey, this is what I got going on. Here's what I'm thinking. Does this make sense? What are you seeing right now? Thomas Hutner, hey, what you got going on? Hey, Stockdale, what you got going on? I got questions. Oh, man, this...
Right. And it's the good village, because it opens up, right, say, there you go, because it opens up other dialogue. Oh, I wasn't thinking that way. Oh, I was thinking the same way.
Absolutely.
And, you know.
Like a perfect example, like we called it Red Zebra. That's what we called it. Yeah, Red Zebra, where we would change the configuration. We didn't do the standard modified Z. We set up something different that had all the doors closed on the main deck to help with if I had to go to GQ, right? But when did we start training for that? During SWAT.
Right.
Yeah. In advanced phase, we trained how we was going to fight in the Red Sea. We didn't wait till we get there. At the basic level, damage control, that's where it started. Right. So my damage control had to be on point before I showed up.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. And then depending on where you at in the world, it's different.
Yes.
You know, you fighting things differently depending on that, where you at in the world.
Absolutely.
That's a beautiful thing. Now, throughout your career, 29 years. Yeah. Has there ever been a young Desmond that you've seen walking about the deck plates?
This is what I will say. I don't need nobody saying I mentioned a name and didn't mention a name. Here's what I say. Shout out to Captain Kevin Hill, my old racked officer on Truman. he was at my change command when I was leaving the ship. And he said, Des, you're doing a great job. He said, before you know it, you have a bunch of little Desmonds running around the Navy. And that's my answer is I'm moving in a way that I want to help other people be successful. I'm trying to put out as much free game as I can. This thing that's called United States Navy is already hard enough. And now you add combat to it that we ain't seen since World War II. Right? It was in the newspapers. Haven't seen the most strikes ever, since World War II, all that kind of stuff. That's what the narrative was when we came back from that deployment. And so with that new bar, we have to take this mentorship stuff and this passing stuff down seriously, because we don't know what the future holds. And we got to continue to be ready for anything, and got to continue to learn and pass stuff down and things like that. And this is on the deck plate, the mess, and the wardroom. It's a collective. It's a collective. And if you're not invested in it, then you're not paying attention to what's going on.
Right. This be my last question. You went through a journey, a beautiful one at that. Let me say that. But getting married young.
Yeah.
19. Still married now. What type of advice could you give a young service member? Yeah. They either married early or married later. Yeah. And I know Nuke stories. More power to y'all. Yeah. I say y'all earn every dollar. Yeah. I won't disagree with that.
Yeah. I geo-bashed twice too.
And geo-bashed twice. So what type of advice could you give a service member to say, hey, it's not easy doing this job. Yeah. Because him and I talk about it all the time. There's no work-life balance. There's not a such thing.
No, work-life balance is a fallacy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I hate that phrase.
Yeah, so how do you manage it the best of your ability? Work, family. Yep. Because they had to take them, especially wife. She had to take that ride with you.
Yeah, any spouse. Yeah, male or female.
Yeah, male. Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like a two-part question. Yeah. One, because you asked the question, what advice we give a married couple? Because he's survived for so long. And then what I'm hearing is the second question is how do you stay grounded? Yeah.
Yeah.
In that.
Yeah. So it's not simple. Well, I say it's simple. It's simple, but it's not easy. The most important thing I'll say is communication, right? Because, and my wife and I, we've had this conversation so many times over the years. She'll ask me about my next job 20 times in the next 3 weeks, and I'm okay with that. The point is, your family isn't in the military. You are. So you have to be professionally curious about your career and what that looks like long term, what your wickets are, what your milestones are, when those things happen, and tell those things to your family, because their processing time is different than yours. The family's thinking about school, thinking about their own career if they want one. Right. They're thinking about what the health insurance looks like, what the life insurance looks like, getting the oil change. They're thinking about all those different things. And so if you got your career like, oh, I'm gonna hit Divo shortly about here, I'm gonna get my master's here, I'm gonna get my JPM here, and my department head here, and I want to be a department head in Spain. That's great for a conversation by yourself. But if you don't map those things out, and this is when I'm mentoring JOs or mentoring anybody, really, I tell them like, go deeper than what the detail is telling you. It's all free game in my Navy HR. You just got to read, right? And so if they telling you, you read this brief, I got your career milestones notional from 01 to 06, meaning by the time you put on 05, that's like 17 years commissioned service. What year is that? Right? So if it's 18 months here or 30 months here, 18 months here, 2 years here, 18 months here, 18 months here, 4 years here, 18 months here, 18 months here. If you just go to the next level and say, that's 2020,
That's 2023.
Wow.
That's 2025. That's 2027. That's 2029. That's 2031. That's 2033. That's 2035. You go to the next level. That's elementary school. That's middle school. That's high school. That's college. Now you already got a base for how to map out your careers. And so by every time you're coming up for these slating windows, it ain't a surprise because you slate about 12 months after you check in, right? You know the next job is 2 years. So now you can have better conversations with your family about what stuff means. How do I know? Because me and my family made a decision to geo-batch for my nuclear training pipeline. They moved to Michigan to be with the family, and my wife had the kids up there with her family so they could help her out while I was in power school grinding, right? Geo-batched for my second department head tour, which was a nuclear PA ride, because my daughter, 16 going in 17, would you want to move or you want to graduate here with your friends? I want to graduate with my friends.
Yeah.
Me and my wife looked at each other. Well, that's the answer. The family staying and you going, and we'll figure it out in execution.
That's game.
And that's I'm telling you,
that's game.
You gotta have a plan. And even like talking about pregnancies, talking about all those life changing events. If you want, I say it like this, because I know we're running out of time. The thing to consider the Navy as a career, not a job. It's all about values. It's all about values, right? And I have had divos sit across from me in the cabin and choose to get out the Navy. Do you? Right. Right? It's not personal. But here's what I tell them. I say, do it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
It's a value set. You have a set of values. The Navy has a set of values. If those things are converging, then stay until you know this ain't for you. You know when you'll know? When it starts diverging. Like I had one officer, mill to mill, different service, couldn't align the jobs. Hey, you know what? I want to start a family. I want to do this. I'm going to do this. So I'm getting out. That's a perfect reason. But my CEO sucks and my CEO doesn't like me, so I'm getting out.
That's life.
Welcome to adulthood.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so all I say is do it for the right decisions. Whether that's lateral transfer, that's do department head and get out. That's do divo, get out. I don't care. Just do it because that's what you want to do, not because some other JO on another ship had a bad experience, and because they had a bad experience, the Navies must suck and I'm gonna get out. Come on, that's a cop out. That's a cop out. You have your own experience. You know what I mean?
So on that note, it's about time that we get out. You know what I want to get out, because we can go on and on. Definitely enjoy having you. Some of y'all might have to spin this back a couple of times to catch some stuff. Spilling a lot of stuff. Spilling a lot of jewels, But again, congratulations. Like you said before.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Love having you.
Again, hopefully I get the invite when you put that bird on. I definitely want to see that.
I'm working some things out to try to get it done.
Yeah, appreciate that. And again, much love to you and much respect to you on that next tour in the shipyard. We know it's real.
Man,
it's real. That's another conversation. But again, thanks for coming on. Thanks for showing us love. And again, we appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for having me.
All right. At ease, out.
Peace.